It is a good day to you all and welcome to the Breakfast Club right here on Asake. My name is Fungai Mawada. Today, of course, we're not in our usual studios. We are right here in the office of Councillor Mabuto of Ward 9. And as you know, it is the duty of any citizen to question those leaders that we have elected into power to see whether they have been exercising their duties and benefiting us all as citizens. So today I do have the pleasure of talking to Councillor Mabuto of Ward 9 to find out what he has been doing ever since he first had an interview with SITE way back then in 2018. Councillor, good day and thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Welcome to the Councillor's office.
Thank you so much. So looking back on your career here, you have been here for 5 years. What have been some of your highs and lows as a councillor of Ward 9?
Thank you very much. It has been a tough period for me as a councillor of this ward. And you know, when it's your first time to be in office, without experience, you see, you face a myriad of challenges or problems. But as we progressed in 2018, 2019, we found the terrain maneuverable, you see. So I must say, well, I've learned. There are quite a number of things also which I personally, as a councillor, together with the residents of Mpopoma, have managed to do to make sure that the lives of the people of Mpopoma is improved in terms of service delivery. Yeah.
All right, so looking back now, as you said, Uti, you're new in office, you had no idea about the whole setup and the likes. What were some of your highs that you can do back and say, like, you know, I really achieved something there as councillor of Ward 9, or I really improved the community of Mpopoma?
I had a clear vision. You know, as a leader, you need to have a vision. When you assume even positions of influence, like leading a ward, you see, you are already in government. You see, myself, I had the vision of making sure that the perennial sewers of Machovane and Mandebele are dealt with. I had also a vision to make sure that Mpopoma Park is resuscitated, mainly the Mpopoma train also. I had also a vision of taking good care of disabled people in the community. I had also a vision in terms of rehabilitating the roads in Mpopoma. But well, some of the things we did achieve, but because of financial problems, we couldn't do certain things during that period to support the vision. But I must say that in 2019, on the 3rd of October, we managed to bring our chief accounting officer, the town clerk. The director of engineering by then was Engineer Smela. He is late now, may his soul rest in peace. And his deputy, now the acting director of engineering, Mr. Ngube. So we visited Machovane, because Machovane, I think it was getting into the second decade with the sewer problems there. So immediately we declared that an emergency project. That was on the 3rd of October. And on the 30th of October, the new contractor moved on site in Machovane. 3 million Zim dollars by then in 2019 was pumped in the Mark contractors, was engaged to rehabilitate Machovane sewer. I must say about 602 households benefited from that, because the new line was put, replacement of the main holes. We had the square main holes, and they were now putting around main holes. But we have got residents who are tampering with our lines now. The residents who cultivate along the sewer line, you see, after council had committed all the resources, we still have houses now which are being affected by sewer, you see, whereby residents go and block a main hole, put cement, you see, so that they can get water to water their gardens which are along the sewer lines, you see. So we had made strides and we thought we had arrested the problem of sewer in Machobane. But now we are back again to square one, but it's only affecting a few households. I talked with our city engineers to make sure that this time we are going to provide lockable manholes so that residents don't open to tamper with our lines. So that was another achievement together with the resident association. It was not only the vision for the councillor, because the councillor doesn't work in isolation. The councillor works also with the competent and able resident association, which is led by Mr. S. Dube, the Bulawayo Progressive Resident Association. They supported it, you see. So we managed to deal with that. And again, we had also other successes in making sure that households which had no water meters, those meters are replaced. And through the Africa Development Bank, we had 1,212 water meters being installed for free to the residents of Mpopoma. That was another achievement together with the resident association. Coming to Mandebele Sewer, because of resources, we were not able to rehabilitate that line. That line needs to be rehabilitated. I think you understand that as council, we are on the financial doldrums, operating on a shoestring, but so then it becomes difficult now to finance certain projects, but it is in the pipeline that when the resources are availed, we go to Mandebele Sewer. But we have managed also to control the sewer outpour in Mandebele, whereby we educated residents, right? Because most of the bests which were happening in Mandebele, there you would find towels, pampers, spoons, a lot of things. You see a pamper, it reacts when to get into our system, right? But now it is the best have decreased. It's only maybe one manhole which is giving us a problem there. You see. And also managed to put a community garden around the area and cultivated a trench that when the sewer outbursts, it can flow through right to where it is supposed to be disposed. Yes,
so obviously one of the many councillors in Zimbabwe who were affected by recalls, a situation which was very depressing for a lot of voters, seeing that they elect someone, then the next thing they're being recalled, and you're then of course re-elected back into office. How did that period affect your abilities as a councillor, and how did you bounce back effectively after those recalls?
Yeah, I must say that derailed our plans and our vision as a ward, together with the resident association and the residents of Mpopoma in particular. There was a huge outcry when I got recalled from office. You even saw residents writing a petition to the minister, you see, to express their displeasure about the recall of their councillor, meaning that somehow they saw that this is the right person who is working well with us. For example, I'll tell you the Mpopoma Park and the Mpopoma train, right? It was one of the project or the program which we had put in place to make sure that we deal with after Machobane Sewer, you see. But then that period of almost 2 years, you are not in office, you see. I had certain programs derailed, you see, or certain project which we had put in place derailed. I only bounced back on the 5th of April when I got sworn in this year back into office, and I'm less than 10 months into office, you see. But having 10 months into office again, we came back and sat down with the resident. Well, we had been affected by the recalls. What is it that which we can do now, right? So when I got elected, we had about 2.8 million Zim dollars in our ward retention. The ward retention is that 3% which comes back to the ward from council to develop mainly council properties in the ward. So we sat down together with the residents at Mpopoma Hall and the resident association, and we came up with a program. Number one, we said let's resuscitate our sporting facilities at Inyat Youth Center the volleyball court, the netball court, the tennis court. All right. We have also put the rehab or the refurbishment of Machwani, the Inyat Youth Center as it is. You see. So we have submitted the project, and I'm glad to note that in our budget for 2023, Council has put our programs even in the budget. The rehabilitation of Popuma Housing Office, of course, you can see the office of the council is being affected by rains. You see. So it is going to be refurbished. I understand this will be through the capital budget from the city of Bulawayo. I must also say that Inyat Youth Center refurbishment has also been put on the capital budget for the city of Bulawayo. So this leaves us to then focus our ward retention, 3% ward retention, which now stands at about $4,663,647, you see, to rehabilitate our sporting facilities. And I must also state that we have had potential partners who are willing to partner City Council to rehabilitate the Mpopoma train, where our children used to go and enjoy themselves during school holidays and also on weekends. Yeah.
Okay, so you've alluded to the sewer situation, which you spoke about in your interview back in 2018 when you want to fix that. You spoke as well about the perennial issues in terms of sort of about the ward funds as well, which they have come through and then there's a budget for it and the likes. You also highlighted a core issue for you, which was persons with disabilities. How have you eased the situation for the residents of Mpopoma who are living with disabilities?
I must thank Jairus Jira Association. I remember in 2019, we had the committee which was headed by Obabu Moyo, for disabled people in the ward, where funds were availed, nearly $1,000 for these people to embark on chicken projects. So we have been monitoring through the ward coordinator from Jairus Jiri, or Mrs. Gama. They are doing very well. We had also donations coming from abroad during the COVID era, groceries, food hampers, and the people whom were considering to benefit this set of groups of people living with disabilities. We still have the vision. We've registered quite a lot of them, even through our social welfare, that even when the mayor's chair, the mayor's chair fund comes on board, they also benefited and they are given a priority. And we also have a slot in our resident association where we have got the secretary for people living with disabilities, who comes in the executive, who sits with the councillor to push forward issues which are affecting people living with disabilities. Yes, we are working very well, and we still have vision for them to make sure that we continue to assist them whenever we get handouts.
Okay. Bulawayo has always been seen as of course, the industrial hub, and the likes, and of course it has its own challenges as a city in itself. You as a person who is in a leadership position and looking from the sort of the inside looking out, how can we as residents of Bulawayo improve and make Bulawayo great again as a city?
Yeah, in Bulawayo, before we look for outside investors, we have got the potential investors here in the city of Bulawayo. What we need to do as the city of Bulawayo is to make sure that we identify these people, right? And number one, when we have identified these people, most of them are in the corporate, some are outside, but they've got resources, they've got money. These people have to be identified and approached, right? And be given land to develop industrial factories, industries, you see. I must state also as a city that we have been able also to identify some. If you look at the member foods, if you look at the Ocean's Bread, they've been allocated and they've built state-of-art, like Ocean's, state-of-art factories where there is a milling company there. So we need to identify more, right? So that these people can come and fit into the city which we have, the vision which we also have as the city by 2024, that we need to create a smart city, a transformative city, you see, by year 2024. So we had a workshop in Gweru, and we were talking about even the SDGs. You see, how do we fit into this to make sure that we make Bulawayo great? And we're crafting our 2023 strategic plan, because the ministry now requires us to have the strategic plan every year, not the one which we used to craft for 4 years or 5 years, you see. So we agreed with management that we are going to support and fit into these SDGs, identify these key partners, and also identify investors from outside Bulawayo who can come and fit. But first we have to give preferences to the able citizens of the city of Bulawayo to come and develop their city. Like what they say, ilizwe liyakho abanini bani. And yeah, the city is called siyakho ngabanikazi bazo. Brick by brick, as they state.
So out of curiosity, we are headed to the 2023 elections and the likes. And are you contesting for office again? Are you running as councillor again for Ward 9?
You know what? Well, I'm not God, though I've got the vision because when we assume these positions, it is not that we are clever or we know how to maneuver to become an office bearer. Leaders are ordained and chosen by God. And I must also state that it is the residents' duty of Ward 9 in Popoma to say no. With this leader, we need to continue with him, you see. So the onus is on the residents to say, do we still need these leaders? Was this leader working well with us? Was he pushing our issues? You see, I don't believe in being imposed to be a councillor or a leader, you see. I need the endorsement of the people. The same people who supported me during my recall, the same, because they saw that, I think we've got a potential leader who needs our support to advance our vision or their projects or issues to do with service delivery. So yes, given an opportunity, I would need to return to this office because I enjoy a lot working as a councillor. Some have been saying, no, you need to be an MP. I said, no, I'm not yet right, Let me work, because being a councillor, it doesn't mean that when you become a councillor, you now desire to go up. You see, you have to be committed to serve residents, because this thing, it's a voluntary issue. So it needs people who are committed, people who are dedicated, you see. People who have put their lives for the resident to say, no, I'm going to serve the residents. Like I'll tell you, when I assumed this office used to be open on weekends. The previous councillor was there. Well, he had his own style of administration. But I've made sure that this office is open daily. As long as I'm in Bulawayo, as long as I'm not in meetings, you will find me in this office. And the residents have developed, that spirit. Sometimes you come here 12, you see them here. But did you think that your councillor? I said, no, we know that you. So that is what the residents want. They want a person who is accessible, the person they can find at any time when they need that person.
All right. So as a resident, perhaps, let me speak in the resident's shoes. I'm at home right now and I'm thinking, considering who should I vote for come 2023, why should I vote for you as councillor of Ward 9 again?
In 2023?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very, very, very good question. Why you should vote for me? I must say, I've been given a litmus test to prove myself in this period since 2018. Well, there was this 2 years when I was out of office, you see. But this short time I've been in office, right? The residents gave me a litmus test now, you see. And it is not me now who can now stand up and vouch. I've seen other leaders standing up and say, you see, I've done this for you, I've done this. No, you haven't done that for the people, because it is the taxpayers' money, it is the people's monies. It is the people, you see, who send you to say, we want this. So you mustn't take credit to say, no, you see, the sporting facilities, I'm the one who has done that. No, put resident first, because you are the servant for the residents, you see. So I cannot stand here and vouch and say, no, people of Boa, vote for me. I've done A, B, C, D for you. They know what I've done as their councillor. They know what I've done as their messenger. Am I a good messenger? So the decision is entirely theirs, you see, to decide, no, should we give him another chance in office? Yeah.
Okay, so my final question, like I said, we're heading for the 2023 elections, and there's been talk, of course, about a lot of voter apathy, especially when it comes to the youth and the likes. As a ward and as a councillor, are you working in any way to try and encourage young people to register to vote?
We are working 24/7. You see, we have seen that the younger generation is shying away from participating. Even the church itself, you see, people, they say, no, we are Christians, we don't get involved in politics. But politics is everywhere. The moment you talk that there is no milli-milli in the house, you're already talking politics. So we have got into these churches. I've got the pastors, council and pastors forum here, the group chat, where each and every pastor who is in Ward 9, right, is in that platform, where we share the vision, right? But not as a councillor who was elected on CC ticket, but as the councillor for everyone, you see. So we have shared this, and I've seen a lot of pastors, they're coming on board even to release people from churches to go and register to vote, you see. Young general, just last week I was at SEC. I've got pictures here where we took about 18 years to register to vote. So I believe that of late we haven't been doing our part as ward councillors. You see, people understand a lot a councillor. You see, when you stand up and say, this is the direction which we are talking, which we are taking. And mind you, as a councillor, you don't take people to go and register and say, please vote for us. No. Because here you are a councillor for ZANU-PF, you are a councillor for MRP, you are a councillor for People's Rainbow Coalition, and all these political parties which are in here. So every resident who is willing to be part of this, we take you for voter registration. The decision is entirely yours. When you get to the voting booth, which candidate should you vote for? You see, but I must thank the church for the overwhelming support. They have come on board, and you see, their stance has changed. You see, from saying we are the church people, we don't, even in the Bible, politics was there. You see.
Hi, Councillor Mabuto, thank you so much for hosting us today, and thank you so much for opening up and letting us know what you've done since 2018, despite the recalls, and coming back into office and just improving the lives of those in Pofoma. And to you at home, thank you so much for joining us once again on the Breakfast Club. Make sure you join us again. We will be having more councillors from the city and holding them to account and ask them what they've done to transform your lives. Please don't forget to like and to follow us on all social media platforms, right? Site ZW on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well as on Twitter. From myself and the team behind the scene, goodbye.